The internet, what a place. It's where cats play pianos, it's where you learn TikTok dances you'll never do, and it's where Reddit lives. Yes, Reddit, that glorious chaotic website. It's like a town hall meeting, but everyone is anonymous and slightly unhinged, but in a fun way. Mostly, it's our digital water cooler, our shared global brain cell, our favorite place to watch small dramas unfold into epic sagas. Sometimes a story pops up, it's so strange, so specific, yet somehow, everyone gets it. We're talking about stories that start small, in a quiet neighborhood perhaps, then they grow, they get weirder, they become legendary. These are the tales that make you say, wait, what? And then you send the link to everyone you know. Because misery, or in this case hilarious confusion, loves company. Why do we love these stories? Is it because our own lives are too boring? Maybe. Probably. Or is it because they remind us that humans are fundamentally bizarre creatures? Yes, that's definitely part of it. These stories are a fantastic escape. They're little windows into someone else's very strange day. And let's be honest, sometimes it's just fun to watch a situation escalate from a safe distance, eh? Today, we dive into one such gem. A story so perfectly Reddit it probably came with its own upvote button at birth. It's a tale of suburban mystery, a tale of unspoken tension, a tale of garden gnomes. Yes, gnomes. Those little ceramic fellows with pointy hats. Prepare yourselves, this one's a doozy. And it all started, as these things often do, with a simple observation. Our hero, let's call him OP for original poster, lived a simple life. Nice house, decent lawn, the Canadian dream more or less. Next door lived Gary. Gary was a man of few words. He mostly kept to himself. His main distinguishing feature, his front garden. It was a veritable kingdom of gnomes, fishing gnomes, napping gnomes, gnomes waving tiny flags, you get the picture. A bit quirky, sure, but harmless, or so OP thought. Then things started to change. Slowly at first. OP noticed one of Gary's gnomes looked different. It was the same fishing gnome, same pose, same cheerful, slightly disturbing smile, but it was bigger, just a tiny bit bigger, maybe 10% larger. OP thought, weird, and then went about his day because who obsesses over a neighbor's slightly engorged gnome? Well, apparently OP was about to. Soon, another gnome was replaced, then another. Each new arrival was an exact replica of its predecessor, just bigger. It was like Gary was slowly upgrading his gnome army to a heavy battalion. OP started watching. He couldn't help it. It was a silent, ceramic takeover. Gary, meanwhile, said nothing. He'd just be out there meticulously placing his new, slightly larger gnomes. His expression? Unreadable. Completely unreadable. The original gnomes were nowhere to be seen, vanished, replaced by their chonkier brethren. OP's Reddit post started with a simple question. Is my neighbor trying to tell me something with his increasingly large gnomes? The internet, of course, had theories. Many, many theories. Because if there's one thing the internet loves more than cats, it's a good, unsolvable, low-stakes mystery. Especially one involving garden ornaments. The situation, as they say, escalated. Gary's entire gnome collection was now officially plus-sized. They stood there a bit more imposing than before, a bit more smug? OP reported that Gary had started looking at gnomes. OP only had a couple of modest, normal-sized gnomes. Suddenly they looked pathetic, puny, like they were about to be bullied for their lunch money by Gary's beefy brigade. This is where Reddit truly shines. The comments section became a war room. You need to retaliate, one user urged. Buy a giant inflatable gnome, suggested another. This is gnome and warfare, quipped a third, because puns are mandatory. OP, caught between amusement and genuine bewilderment, felt the pressure. The internet was invested, deeply invested. His garden had become their garden. So OP did it. He caved to peer pressure, and perhaps his own curiosity. He bought a ridiculously large gnome, not just bigger, obscenely bigger. Think a gnome that could ride most roller coasters? He placed it right in the center of his lawn, a defiant, oversized statement. He then waited, watched. What would Gary do? Would he declare all-out gnome war? Would he bring out a gnome the size of a small car? The suspense was palpable, both on OP's quiet suburban street and across the digital plains of Reddit. Gary eventually emerged. He surveyed OP's colossal gnome. He looked at his own slightly larger than average gnomes. Then he went back inside. For a moment, OP thought that was it, anticlimax. But no, Gary returned. And what he did next was pure, unexpected genius. Or madness. You decide. Gary reappeared holding something tiny, very tiny. He walked over to OP's gigantic gnome. He knelt, and he placed a single, minuscule gnome right at the giant's feet, a gnome so small it was barely visible. Then Gary stood up. He looked at OP, he gave a single solemn nod, and then he went back inside. That was it, no words. Just the nod. And the tiny gnome. The meaning? Who knows? Reddit exploded. Was it a sign of surrender? A statement about quality over quantity? Was Gary a performance artist? A Zen master communicating through ceramics? The theories ranged from the profound to the profoundly silly. The story went viral. Properly viral. News outlets picked it up. People shared it, debated it, loved it. It was the perfect distraction. This little neighborhood drama, this gnome trig, highlighted something wonderful. The power of shared storytelling. How a simple, quirky event can connect thousands of strangers. It brought smiles, head scratches, and a lot of laughter. It reminded us that life's absurdities are often best enjoyed together. Even if we never quite figure out what Gary and his gnomes were truly up to. So, what's the takeaway? Well, maybe it's that you should secure your gnomes. Or maybe it's that the best stories are the ones that leave you wondering, or perhaps it's just that neighbors are weird. And the internet will always be there to talk about it, and for that, we should probably be grateful. Or terrified, maybe a bit of both. Now if you'll excuse me, I need to check on my own garden ornaments just in case.